There has been a John Wick prequel TV series that has now been confirmed. As a massive John Wick fan and a huge Keanureeves fan, I think this is quite a terrible idea. I don't think this is going to work out. But anyhows guys, I'm here to tell you everything that I know so far about this, so let's just go ahead and get this video started. Hi guys, thank you so much for coming back and joining me. So like I was saying at the beginning, there is a TV series that has been confirmed that is supposed to be a prequel for John Wick. And the star of John Wick, who is of course, the lead role is played by the awesome Keanureeves, he is, supposed to be working on this, and it has been confirmed guys, and I'm pretty sure that it's supposed to be called The Continental. And for anybody who isn't familiar with John Wick, don't worry, I am 100% not going to be giving anything away or giving any spoilers away in case anybody hasn't even seen the first or second one or the third one that was out in the cinema there. But The Continental is basically a hotel called The Continental that assassins basically go to and sort of like congregate at the hotel, and that's where they stay and things like that. So that's what it's supposed to be called. Now, I am just going to read out what I know so far from a phone, from an article that I found today. And I just think it's kind of a terrible idea, this whole, TV series idea. In general, I don't agree with it. And then I'm going to give my 2 cents on it as well, guys, because I'm really passionate about this. I really, really am. So The Continental is still in development, though it likely won't hit airwaves anytime soon. Because like we all know, guys, just really quickly, for anybody who's maybe not familiar with, this universe, basically at the end of John Wick 3, John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum movie, we all knew that there's going to be a fourth one, so we're getting a fourth John Wick. And I think that there shouldn't be any more than 4. I was more than happy with, if it had just ended at 3, but 20% of me was kind of thinking it should have ended here. But, if there's going to be a fourth one, great. I'm so hyped, so excited. 80% of me was like, brilliant. I don't care. I want to see another one. It's going to be good, hopefully. But 20% of me, as I say, was kind of like, I don't know if we need another one. But I think 5 would be milking it too far, which is why I really think that this is really being milked. John Wick 4 hasn't even came out yet. It's not due to come out. I think it's May 2021. So it hasn't even came out yet, and they're saying about doing a TV series. So anyways, carrying on guys. According to the report, the premium cable show will debut sometime in post John Wick Chapter 4 world. Nearly 2 years away. Not only do we now have a timeline for the show, but they also revealed that it will be a prequel set way earlier than any of the John Wick films. The Continental will be way earlier in the history of the series. And they said that it will be a fresh look at the Continental as the hotel and how they came into the being of John Wick. It's way back in terms of the timing. John Wick star Keanureeves is executive producing, so he's actually executive producing this, guys. So he's of course very much been in agreement with this within the series, alongside, though it's unclear whether or not Wick will end up appearing in the rumoured 8-episode series. When asked, they were sort of like skirting the question the best that they could. That's a really good question, and we're not going to answer that. So I'm confused, sorry. They're doing a series of John Wick. Obviously I know it's a prequel, but John Wick might not even be in the series. I don't know if I'm interested in that, but if he is going to be in it, I really hope that, it's going to be him in it, because I don't want anybody else playing John Wick, playing Keanureeves. Whether or not they, nowadays you really can make people look younger. So if they have him in it and he's younger and they're showing like backstories and things like that, then it would be cool because they could make him look younger. And like, let's face it, Keanureeves never ages anyways. But you know, if they're not going to be putting John Wick in it, then what is the point of this TV series? Anyways, heading on. Chris Collins from the show The Sopranos is set to write and serve as showrunner. I've never watched The Sopranos, so I don't know about that. Can't comment. Collins and keanureeves will executive produce alongside Basil Iwanak, I'm sorry if I don't pronounce this right, Chad Stahelski, who of course works on the John Wick movies, David Leitch, and franchise creator Derek Kolstad. Stahelski, the filmmaker that helms the features, has been attached to direct the series premiere. Well, that's good news, I suppose. Lionsgate is very interested in doing a John Wick TV show, and that seems very appealing to us, to give those creative ideas to that entity, because I think in TV you could really expand on what that is, and greater than we could in just a 2-hour film. Stahelski said this during a press stop ahead of John Wick Chapter 2. Now, John Wick Chapter 4, guys, is currently scheduled, as was said earlier, for the release on May the 21st, 2021. Now, of course, as we know, things can be, you know, held back or pushed forward. You know, we all know, for example, Taika Waititi, who's did Thor Ragnarok, and he's working on Thor Love and Thunder. What a brilliant title. He had to push back Akira, which is a movie I was really, really looking forward to, so was my boyfriend, but anyways. Anyhow, he's moving on, you know, these things happen. But yeah, I mean, like, what do you guys think? My 2 cents on this is what I would really worry about is the whole lore, because, you know, what I love about the John Wick movies is it has a fantastic lore and a great universe, and they really showed it the most in the 3rd movie. Now, as I say, I swear, I promise guys, I'm not going to give anything away. First John Wick was really, really good. It was actually my cousin Christopher that actually told me to watch John Wick, because he said to me, like, you've never seen John Wick? I think it was about 2.5 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, I then seen, because he kept talking about it, and I was like, right, okay, I'm going to have to pick this up at some stage. He said to me as well that keanureeves was in it, and then I thought to myself, I own so many, like a ton of keanureeves movies, so how could I not have seen these? I just never sort of heard of it. I don't know how, but anyhow, I picked both of them up as like a set, you know, like the first one and the second one, in a store called Tesco here where I live, and I came home and watched both of them one night after the other, and I thought, wow, that is amazing, that them 2 movies were so good. Now, the first one is a really, really good movie. It's really good, I really like it. Now, the second one was way better than the first one. It was amazing, and there was more sort of like lore and just more to it, more going on story wise. And then the third one, which was John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, was the best one. Now, I did a movie review on it and I give it 10 out of 10. I thought it was just flawless. It was phenomenal. Flawless cinematography, flawless fighting scenes, and a lot of you know that I am a huge martial arts fan. You have no idea. And something that I really want to talk about was the thing that I loved the most about these John Wick movies is that they were so refreshing. I mean, I love all the Matrix movies, of course, but with these it was just like something new and something that didn't have a ton of woke. It has zero wokeness, zero nonsense in it. It just got on with it. It got on with the story, and it really focused on keanureeves' character, of course, John Wick. And it was just all about the world building, all about the lore, all about his character. You know, there was no one said anything at any point in any of those 3 movies at all. And you know what I mean, guys. So for those of you who watch my channel who, you know, hate all that type of nonsense in movies and you haven't seen them, I would recommend watching all 3 of them. I really, really would. And I would honestly say now that the third one is one of my like all-time favourite movies. Oh, it's not my all-time favourite movies, but it's definitely now going to be probably in my top 10. And I can't wait. I'm going to put it on my Christmas list for 4K. And as well, I wanted to say that what my all-time favourite movie of keanureeves is this one, Point Break. I actually watched it the other day, and it stars Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze, and it also has Tom Petty's daughter in it. But I completely forget her name. I'm really sorry. I know her name, but it's just like completely escapes me. But wow, what a movie! If you have never seen Point Break and you love Keanu Reeves, seriously, give it a watch. It's a must. And there's another movie that I really love of his called 47 Ronin. And there is a guy in it who is a professional martial artist, and he's called Hiroyuki Sanada. And he was actually, it's really interesting, I've already mentioned this before in a couple of videos I think, but he was actually in John Wick 3, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. There was a fight scene with like all glass floors, again not giving anything away, and they were fighting each other, which was really cool because they were actually in a movie together called 47 Ronin, and wow, that is a phenomenal movie. Check that out if you like Keanu Reeves, by the way. But the thing is, here is the thing, I would never have wanted to see a TV show off The Matrix, for example, because it should just be left alone. The lore was perfect, the story was perfect. It's the same Lord of the Rings. I'm very like with the whole like that show coming out. Very sketchy, to be honest, because the lore and the fantasy and just wow, Lord of the Rings. To me, the Lord of the Rings, I hate the word epic, and I hate people using the word epic like, oh, that chocolate bar, that Snickers bar is epic. Like, no. Epic is, to me, truly something otherworldly. Like the Lord of the Rings, like What's Behind Me, which is the best Halloween movie ever. It's called The Crow. That's epic. The Lord of the Rings is epic. The third John Wick movie, epic. You know, so to me, I don't think the Lord of the Rings should have a show. Now, don't get me wrong, I could be completely wrong, and it could be great, you know, hopefully it is. But I don't think that it's needed, because what can happen, guys, is it can destroy the whole lore of things. And I would worry that this might destroy what we have seen from these 3 movies and the 4th one that's going to be coming out as well. And what really concerns me is, what is their reasoning for doing this? Is it because they really care about this and they want to do a prequel and do it really well? Now, if so, you know, I'll come on and admit, look, I was totally wrong there. And I'm really excited about this now. Like, I'm not saying 100% I won't watch this, but I'm just saying it's not something as of the moment that I'm interested in. I would have to see a couple of phenomenal trailers, unless they're going to do this and do it top notch and do it phenomenal, then it's going to crash and burn. It's not going to work, because nowadays everything's a milking train, everything's a cash grab, right? Now, Toy Story, for example, I was all for it. But it should have ended at the 2nd one. But then the 3rd one came out and I really liked it and I really enjoyed it. But it ended perfect. So why there was a 4th one brought out is beyond me. So you kind of, even though you're a fan of something, you kind of have to draw the line in the sand somewhere and say, right, where's the milking sort of starting, and where's the over-exaggeration kind of starting coming in. And the over-exaggeration coming in with John Wick, I think, is actually even for this 4th movie, because it's kind of dwelling slightly into the oversaturation. As I was saying earlier, 20% of me was saying at the end of John Wick 3, I hope this is kind of slightly maybe going into oversaturation, but I can't really say yet. We'll see when the 4th one comes out. But in the 4th one, right, if I find out at the end of John Wick 4 there's going to be a 5th one, I'm sorry, that's going to just be too much. That at that stage it will be oversaturated. And I hope they don't do that with John Wick, because John Wick is just a breath of fresh air. There's no wokeness, there's no agenda-driven nonsense, there's no pandering, it's just brilliant. And you see all the fighting scenes and everything, they were so smooth, really authentic, and just flowed, you know, and looked really natural. And the other thing that I wanted to say, to get to talking off authentic, is that's what I love about Keanu Reeves. He's very authentic. That's the best way to describe him as a person. He's such a lovely, humble, down-to-earth freaking well guy. And what I love about Keanu Reeves is he's so authentic. He's kind of like, the way I explain, I was talking to a boyfriend about this earlier, and I don't know why, but I just randomly started talking about a chessboard. So he's kind of like a chessboard, right? And he's very, very intelligent. He's very strategic. And he only goes for roles that he knows will suit him. And, you know, he's not going to make a move unless he knows it's a good idea and it's a good idea of the fans. So I hope that the chessboard won't kind of go, like, if he's actually going to be somehow in this prequel thing and I don't know, it kind of just goes too much oversaturated in John Wick world, and also just milking it, then his moves on the chessboard is just going to, like, you know, throw everything off the chessboard basically, you know, and we're going to be in a bit of a mess. So I will be really disappointed if this is just going to be, I don't know, I don't think that I would watch it if I don't wholeheartedly think that it's going to work, because either way, whether Keanu Reeves is in it or not, I don't want it to ruin the whole lore, and I don't want it to ruin from what I know and what I've seen from the movies. Again, I don't really want to say too much because I don't want to ruin it. But I do have a positive, and I will say the positive is that Keanu Reeves is working on it. He's, you know, pretty much producing it and stuff. So, and Chad Stahelski, I hope I pronounced that right. It's difficult to say. Chad Stahelski, of course, worked on John Wick. I hope them, you know, like them two together, you know, would make a show good, I guess. But at the same time, I do trust Keanu Reeves, but at the same time, I do have my concerns, as I say, you know, with the whole lore and everything. I don't really know what direction they're wanting to take this in and why. I mean, who asked for this? Is there anybody out there that is a fan of John Wick? I'm a massive fan of John Wick and I don't want this. So am I just being really silly, or what do you guys think? You know, if you're a fan, do you think that this is a good idea? Is this something you'd be interested in seeing? To me, it's no different than say, I'm not trying to compare The Matrix to John Wick, okay? I'm not. But I'm just saying, I would never have wanted a Matrix series. I don't think there ever should be a series of The Matrix. But wow, guys, this is going to be such a long video, so I'm actually literally just going to end this here and let you all know that I am super, super thankful for all the support. You have no idea how much it means to me, and I love reading your comments. I read every single one of them, and I try my best to at least heart every comment or at least respond something back. But know that I read every single comment, and I massively, massively appreciate it. I am so close to 10,000 subscribers, and I would not be there without every single one of yous, and I don't see it as a number. I see it as just amazing, lovely people. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, the whole way from Ireland. And if you're from Ireland, it's not really the whole way from Ireland, it's just kind of like close to you. But for everyone else, the whole way from Ireland, so, so, so much love to each and every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. You all are amazing. So thank you so much for watching, and until my next video, don't forget that the Force will be with you always.